Every time Sasuke was stronger than Naruto in chronological order. There may have been some issues with Sasuke and Naruto's relationship, but power levels certainly weren't one of them. Rivalries have as much a place in shonen as the battles do. Almost every shonen has a rivalry of some kind, from Killua and Gon to Vegeta and Goku. There's always one, and Naruto does some of its best work in making sure that both rivals are balanced. They both are allowed to take center stage at times. Unlike Vegeta, who is forever the bridesmaid, Sasuke keeps pace with Naruto, even surpassing him in power at times. There may have been some issues with their relationship. But power levels certainly weren't one of them. 10. Sasuke comes the closest to getting the bell from Kakashi. It doesn't take long for Sasuke to show how superior he is to Naruto. During their first training exercise as a team, they are asked to try to take bells away from Kakashi. The test is actually to see how willing they are to work together, Kakashi knowing they stood no chance of actually getting the bells. That is until Sasuke comes close enough that Kakashi has to lower his copy of Ika and take things seriously. It's one of the many early flashes of Sasuke's talents. 9. Sasuke saves Naruto from Demon Brothers. In their first real mission as a team, they are attacked by the Demon Brothers, who were mercenaries hired to kill Tazuna. Naruto is paralyzed with fear when they appear. Sasuke, on the other hand, leaps into action, disarming the brothers, to protect Naruto. It was the perfect way to show why Sasuke was considered a genius and Naruto was looked at as a failure troublemaker. As minor as the scene is, it's part of what built their entire rivalry going forward. 8. Sasuke shields Naruto from Haku's Senbon. During the battle with Haku, Sasuke is unsurprisingly the biggest threat at the start. With the awakening of his Sharingan, he's able to keep up with Haku's projectiles, forcing Haku to try to eliminate Naruto so he can focus solely on Sasuke. Rather than using Naruto as bait, Sasuke flings himself in the path of the Senbon, leading him to what appeared to be his death. Naruto may get the last laugh here, but Sasuke was seen as the threat by Haku, not Naruto. 7. Sasuke breaks Zaku's arms. When Sasuke came back to his senses after having been branded with the cursed seal, combat was already happening all around him. Team Dosu was attacking Team 7 and Team 10 in the forest. When he asked who'd hurt Sakura, Zaku made the mistake of taking credit for it. Sasuke swiftly tapped into his new power, gaining leverage on Zaku and breaking both of his arms in one of the more brutal moments in all of Part 1. That level of intensity and brutality was something Naruto didn't possess. 6. Sasuke comes out on top at the Valley of the End. The biggest battle in Part 1 of Naruto was easily the one at the Valley of the End between Sasuke and Naruto. It had been building up for half the anime. Sasuke's lust for power and jealousy of Naruto coming to a head. To prove he was stronger, Sasuke battled his friend, vowing to kill him to unlock the next stage of the Sharingan. By the end of it, Sasuke was victorious, punching Naruto out as their attacks converged on one another. To this day, it stands as one of the best fights in the whole series. 5. Sasuke is willing to kill Team 7 at Tenchi Bridge. In their first meeting since joining Orochimaru, Sasuke showed how much stronger he'd become. He overpowered Sai and much of Team 7 in their brief skirmish between one another. His prowess had grown immensely, from physical to his use of the Sharingan. When Naruto looked like he was going to tap into the Ninetales chakra, Sasuke used his Sharingan to enter Naruto's subconscious. Even the Kyuubi commented on how similar Sasuke was to Madara, in both power and mentality. 4. Sasuke defeats Orochimaru in his subconscious. Even with the introduction of Akatsuki, Orochimaru was still a top-tier opponent and one that managed to stand up to a four-tailed version of Naruto. He was far from a pushover, which is why Sasuke waited until Orochimaru was at his weakest point. It causes much of their battle to be inside Sasuke's head, the pair battling over control of the Uchiha's subconscious. It's the type of battle that Naruto could have never hoped to win at that point. 3. Sasuke defeats a member of Akatsuki on his own. While Sasuke was the last of Team 7 to defeat a member of Akatsuki, he was the first to do it on his own. Sakura needed help from Chiyo, and Naruto was part of a team effort against Kakuzu. Sasuke took on Deidara by his lonesome in a fight that showed how smart he was on the field of battle. He was constantly countering Deidara's attacks, keeping himself one step ahead the whole time, even if that meant sacrificing one of his cursed seal wings to do so. 2. Sasuke survives an assault from 4 Kage. It takes a lot of confidence in yourself to bust into the middle of a summit with some of the strongest people in the shinobi world. But Sasuke was riding high in his abilities by this point. After finding out the truth about Itachi, he only saw red, and that led him into a conflict with 4 of the 5 Kages. Surprisingly, he held his own, defeating the Raikage guards and going blow for blow with the Raikage for a time. Things got dicier once the other 3 got involved, forcing Sasuke to retreat. It's still an accomplishment to say he survived the meeting. 1. Sasuke avenges Itachi by killing Danzo. It's not every day you can say you killed a Hokage or any Kage for that matter. Naruto had taken out his fair share of villains, namely Pain. But none of them held such an illustrious title as Danzo. The battle was a nice mix of strategy and bloodlust as emotions were running high for Sasuke. He needed to be able to avenge what happened to his brother. But he didn't let that cloud him from seeing what Danzo was doing. Defeating the Hokage with a genjutsu felt fitting, considering Danzo's obsession with Sharingan.